Okay, we have seen the first fiduciary duties of director, whereby the director has a duty to disclose any interest in dealing, and we also have seen the case of Ellinger and New Sombrero, where the court held that the company can rescind the contract, purchase money to be returned, and the island to be returned to the syndicate. Okay, now perhaps we can look at another example of disclosure of interest in dealing. We can see in the case of Fairview School, Berhad and Indrani, daughter of Raja Ratnam, or anak perempuan Raja Ratnam. Okay, now any profit made by the promoter without knowledge and consent by the company are known as secret profits. So standard definition of secret profits, yeah. So if the company did not know that you have made any profits, and it is actually a secret profits. Now profits will not be secret if you, as a promoter, you properly disclose it to the companies. In this case, in the case of Fairview, Justice Court of Appeal Mahadev Shankar says that promoter have a legal duty not to make any secret profit out of the promotion of company without the company's consent. Okay, so basically you need consent before you can keep those profits, and you must also disclose, in this case, the judge says that you must disclose to the company any interest the promoters have in any transaction proposed to be entered. So not only you have to disclose whatever profit you're going to make, you must also disclose that you have such interest with regards to those transactions entered into by the company. Okay. Now, when we talk about disclosure, disclosure can either be half truth or partial truth. Disclosure which is half truth or partial truth can be defective. Basically, promoters must give a full disclosure. Any half truth or partial truth is defective and it does not have any legal force. You can see this in the case of Gluckstein and Barnes. Now, in this case, if you read together with me the slides, defendant bought debentures cheaply in a company at a time when the company was faring very badly. Basically, financially, they were very bad. What is debenture? I've explained earlier, and we're going to look into debentures in chapter shares. Now, this particular defendant later bought over the company for £140,000. And later, the debentures were redeemed at full value and they made a good profit of £20,000. Okay. Now, later they formed another company. Not only one company, they formed another company and sold the company, okay, whatever they have, to that particular new company. So, their current company, they sold it to a new company at a profit of £40,000. Now, these profits were disclosed in the prospectus. Okay, but not the amount of profits they made on the redemption of debentures. They informed that they made profits, but they did not inform that the amount they made on the debentures. So the company went into liquidation within 4 years of its formation, right? And the liquidators sought to recover inter alia, or among others, the undisclosed profit of £20,000. So that £20,000 is on the redemption of debentures. Now the court held that the promoters were in breach of their duties, right? And allowed the claim by the liquidator of £20,000 because that particular profit of £20,000 was not fully disclosed by the promoters. They disclosed that particular profit, but they failed to disclose the profit made on the redemption of debenture. So the court said that disclosure was not effective unless it was made fully and frankly. So bear in mind, if you are the promoters, there's no such thing as half-truth or partial truth. It should be a full truth disclosure. Okay, we have seen disclosure of a promoter, we have seen that they should not make any secret profit, neither do they can have any interest in the transaction. Now we look at another part of the promoter's fiduciary duties, which is a promoter who acquires any property for that particular intended company after the commencement of the promotion is presumed to do so as trustee. Now what it means is that if that particular promoter acquires any property and he continues to hold that particular property, he is now a trustee to that company. Now he must hand over the property to the company at the price it was acquired for. So if he bought it at 40,000 ringgit, he must actually disclose it to the company and disclose it that he bought it at 40,000 ringgit, and he actually must hand over to the company at that particular price, unless he informed the company of his rights to call for the property at this cost price. So it depends. It depends on what was agreed between them. Now that is on the part of the trustee. Now the other fiduciary duties is where the promoter are not to disclose any confidential information. So bear in mind, promoters must avoid disclosing any. Okay, promoters must avoid disclosing any confidential information received as a promoter. Okay, the other fiduciary duties of a promoter is an obligation not to compete with the promoter company. So let's say A as a promoter. Okay, he take up another contract similar to that particular contract which that intended company wanted to have. So basically, a promoter is under a duty not to take out any contract or opportunity which in equity belongs to the company. He will be breached of his duty if he acquired and compete with that particular promoter company. Okay, so basically a breach also occur if during the promotion, promoters buy the property with intention of selling it to the company at a profit. So if you are the promoter, don't buy any property and sell it back to the company at a profit. You must disclose. Okay, you must give a full disclosure to that particular company on your interests. Okay. Okay. When a promoter breaches duty, basically, of course, the company would like to have remedies. Now, we are looking into what are the remedies available when he breaches, that particular promoter breaches his duties. Okay, there are 4 options here. Firstly, rescission. We have seen in the case of LNG just now. Secondly, recovery of secret profits and constructive trust, if there is such constructive trust and damages. The third one, and lastly, liability under Companies Act 2016. Now we're going to look into the first one, rescission. What does rescission mean? Okay, you have done business law, you should know what rescission means. So basically, when there's a rescission, the contract is rescinded, contract between the company and promoter is cancelled, and any money will be repaid and property returned. We have seen this in the case of LNG and New Sombrero Prospect, right? Now, bear in mind, company may not be able to rescind the contract if it does not rescind reasonably promptly after becoming aware of the promoter's interest. Basically, the moment you know that that particular promoter has any interest in the contract, you must do it as soon as possible. Okay, there should not be any delay in exercising the rights of rescission. This is where all these particular details we get from the same case, Allenger. Secondly, the court says that after becoming aware of the promoter's interest, it does something which indicate that it affirmed the contract. So basically, company might not be able to rescind if you do something to the contract. Basically, some sort like you affirm the contract, right? And then thirdly, restitute in integram is impossible. Basically, you're not possible to restore the parties to their original position. Perhaps it's impossible that you are able to compensate something. It is not that as easy as it is. And then third one, where prior to the rescission of contract, an innocent third party acquires some interest. So basically, when you have give it to some other people, another third party acquires interest. So basically, there's involved third party, and you didn't do it as soon as possible. So somehow or other, there's a possibility that you might, the company might not be able to rescind the contract. So this is where, when the company might not able to rescind the contract, this is where the promoter will take full responsibility for it. Yeah? Okay. Now, on the part of the recovery of secret profits, we know that when the promoter makes secret profits, the promoter must account the profit unless promoter disclose it to the company. So if you are the promoter, you get some profits out of it, make sure you inform the company. Otherwise, you should actually return back those profits to the company. Okay, and if you decided to inform the company, there's a possibility that the company might allow you to keep the profits. You can see in the case of Gladstone and Barnes, again, failure to disclose of the profits by the promoters. Now, we look into the constructive trust. What is constructive trust? Okay, constructive trust is more of your conduct because you hold on to it. It seems that constructively you hold it on trust. Now, in this case of Fairview Schools, Berhad and Indrani, company obtain a constructive trust order. Basically, a company can go to the court and apply an order, a constructive trust order. So basically, you can require the promoter to hand over at cost in the case where promoter during the cost of promotion acquires property. Now, if you fail as a promoter to deliver the property, so basically that particular promoter are holding that property on trust. Okay. In this case, the court held that the permit which was applied and issued to operate the school was held in trust for the company. So basically, if the company asks you to return back whatever thing that a promoter has been holding it, so it's best that the promoter return back those property to the company. Okay, and last but not least, damages. Any breach promoters, the company can claim for damages. And under the Companies Act 2016, it gives the power to disqualify a person from acting as a promoter or director if those particular promoter has actually breached his duty as a promoter. So basically, those are the remedies available to the companies for any breach of promoter's duties.